Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
All right. Welcome to the Our Team Podcast. I am Brian Our, and you are...
Wow, I actually got an introduction. I'm Eric Johnson.
You are Eric Johnson. You've always been Eric Johnson to me.
I really have.
Yep. Ever since I've known you, you've been Eric Johnson.
Well, that's good because I get your text for Eric Goslin.
I know. I have about 6 or 7 friends that are named Eric, and we used to have a lender that was named Eric, and my buddy Eric Goslin would always get all these lending documents, delete that stuff, and say, "Bro, you just sent me some banking documents." So, oops, sorry about that. Too many Erics in my phone.
eXp did it to me. They
right.
sent me a CDA for another Eric Johnson, and actually another full my name Eric Johnson.
Yeah,
and I was like, it's not me. And so I actually called the guy's broker, and I was like, you have the wrong guy. And they're like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you should have just taken his money.
I was going to.
I figured you would.
But that's not ethical, so I didn't.
It's not ethical. No, hardly at all.
Actually, I felt bad because when I called the guy's broker, he's like, well, yeah, he's getting out of the business and doing construction instead.
Oh, wow. You should have taken his money. Speaking of money, we're going to talk about marketing today.
We are going to talk about marketing, but we're going to talk about a different form of marketing.
Ooh, okay.
And that is you taking over the marketing director role.
Yeah. Yes.
Since you and Lorianne have been together as a team, partnership, and then taking over as a marketing director for the team in general.
Yes. Marketing director. So I do consider myself the marketing director for the team. I know. Probably, if we get to a certain size, I would probably have to just hire someone to be our marketing director and handle everything. But for right now, since I'm so involved in all of that part of our business, I actually like it when the team introduces me to their sellers as their marketing director. So it kind of makes them feel like, imagine if you said, hey, before we do this, I have to call my team leader, and he's got to make sure it's all, If it gives them more power to say, you know what, let's get my marketing director involved in this. In fact, he's even going to come on the listing appointment. So I go on all the listing appointments, pretty much, not every single one, and I get to explain exactly how we're going to market their home and show them in no uncertain terms that there's a huge degree of separation between what we do and the average agent. I never diss on other agents for what they do, but I just show them what we do in such a powerful way that they make up the decision pretty quickly that, whoa, you guys are good. This is good.
Well, then before we actually step into how we got to there, how did you step into the role of doing video and photography?
Okay, that's a good question. First of all, there was a serious need for it. I was never doing photography. I always had a bunch of different photographers that I hired. But then I learned how to edit photos, and I found myself re-editing a lot of their stuff, like lifting the shadows and noise reduction and recomposing shots to remove angle distortion and stuff like that. And it just got to be like, oh my gosh, I know what a really clean photo looks like, and sometimes you just see garbage come through, even though you're paying good money for it. So I just found myself like becoming like the final editor of our photos. And then I couldn't find anybody that would actually take the time to do real video, not a slideshow, but a video. So I just decided I am going to just start doing it.
Would you say that slideshows were the norm for video in the real estate industry to start with?
They still are to this day. 2023, I'm still seeing a ton of slideshow videos. That's not a video, that's a slideshow. It happens to be MP4, but it's not a video, and it doesn't tell any story. Because why would somebody want to go flipping through all the photos to see the property, and then click on a video and see those same photos with cheesy music in a slower way? That's just going to be like next, right? If you have a video that you want to show somebody, it should be a very compelling video. It should be a storytelling video that's like really, awesome, right? And there wasn't anybody in our valley, plenty in Orange County. I have a I consider him a friend. He probably wouldn't consider me a friend, but Tim Smith, I used to hang out with him quite often when I was at Coldwell Banker. And, he was making these incredible films. He wouldn't even call it a video. He would do a film for your house. And they were very lifestyle oriented. So I just always appreciated that. And I knew I could hire his people. But it was just such a hassle, and it was so costly, and I knew it was in my wheelhouse to do it. So I know how to operate a camera. I know how to compose a shot. I know how to kind of tell that story. So I just said I'm going to take over and do it. So I started actually becoming the team. Our team was much smaller at the time. There was 4 of us, I guess. But I really just became like, at that point in time, I considered myself the team videographer. And so that's really what it was just then. But it's grown to be something way bigger now. Yeah.
So going off of the Mr. Tim guy, if you had to name a style for yours, what would your style be?
Style?
I guess where I was thinking is, style is it filmography or is it, but where do you get the inspiration for how the home is going to look? Because you do have a unique.
Yeah, I think composing. One thing that I do in almost every shot is I make sure there's something in the foreground, because there was so many videos of listings are, they're not real videos. It's a photo with what we call a Ken Burns effect, or a scaling in and scaling out, scaling over. So it looks like there's movement in that photo. But it's just a picture that they're zooming in on for that video. And so that is an effective way to put some presentations together, but not the way I wanted to do it. So I always wanted to have fans on. I always wanted to see curtains kind of blowing a little bit. I always wanted to see maybe something in the foreground that's having to move out of the way to reveal the shot. So what happened, because I was always trying to prove or show that this really is video, it's not a photo that's being zoomed in on, that my style became, and people used to comment all the time that there's always so much movement and motion in your videos. So I guess that's my style, right? I'm always selling the point that this is video, this is not a stagnant shot. So I also don't ever do pans. I think pans are the worst thing you could do. So I do, a lot of parallax type stuff. But I think there's just a constant motion in them, and they're quick. I mean, it's very common for me to do a 1-minute video that has up to 90 clips. So that means almost every single clip's less than a second. So, but if you start that cadence from the beginning, then it's very easy to tell that story. If you have a bunch of 3-second clips followed by a series of half-second clips, the viewer's going to be like, whoa, what just happened? But if you have a very fast tempo production from the very get-go, then it's amazing how the brain can just absorb it all and say, whoa, this is great, right? So, you see that in real commercials. That's how I really developed that style. You watch a Mercedes commercial. I actually did this. I was talking to my buddy Jason about this. 30-second Super Bowl commercial, Mercedes. And that's a long commercial, by the way, for a Super Bowl. But there was literally 100 clips. We broke it down and counted every single scene change. There was 100 clips. There was quarter-second scenes. But they were done in such a way, where they were showing the shifter and the, for a split second, RPMs going up and just ripping by, and, a quick shot of the exhaust pipe and all this different stuff just hitting you, and it goes so fast, but you still go, wow, I want to go try that car. And that's what I try to do in the videos, make them interesting, make them go quick so that nobody gets bored with them, and not tell the whole story. You don't need to tell the whole story. You just need to tell a story good enough that makes people want to get out of their seat and go see the house. It's not a documentary. It's a commercial. And so that's why I think my style looks a little different than the average. And I have had actually people call me and say, hey man, I watched your video, but it's like, I didn't see all the bathrooms. And so I said, well, that's what the photos are for. the video is a commercial to drive people to the landing page so they can consume all of the content, which is all the photos, the horrible but necessary 3D, all the stuff that, we do on our listings. So that's why I think we get away with those quicker, more storytelling, commercial style videos because we make it clear to our clients we're going to leverage those videos to drive traffic to your site where people are going to spend a lot more time. So you put out a 3-minute video, no one's going to watch it. You're going to lose them after about 6 seconds. but if you produce a video that in 6 seconds has already had 15 clips, they're not going anywhere because there's no excuse to leave. It's just hitting them so fast. They're just like, "Oh, this is really cool."
Do you ever set a video to a song to begin with? In your head, you have a song in mind, and that's how you're going to shoot it, or is it find the song later?
Depends where it's going. So if I'm making an actual featured video for a property, I make sure that the song that I select has, it's going to be very cohesive with the story. When it comes to reels, I throw that out completely because it's a better play to just create a really clean, crisp, vertically oriented video with no sound or anything, and then choose a trending song for that video. So even though I would rather put my own music to it so that I can beat drop and have the song kind of direct the video, I can't do that for Instagram. So I keep them completely separate. We do horizontal, really wide angle, really storytelling, long form videos, and we use short reels with trending music to drive traffic to those productions.
Are you finding that you're having to do both, shoot like on, say, an iPhone to pick up the reel aspect, and then you're using, a good video camera or even a really good still camera to shoot the actual video?
Exactly. To me, it's not worth, taking my camera, reorienting the gimbal and all that stuff to shoot it vertical when I can just grab the iPhone and do it that way. So I'm doing every reel with my iPhone. So, it's a powerful tool, and I don't even have the most powerful tool. I have it's a 12, I think it's a 12 Pro Max. You know what I have. It's a 12, right?
Yeah, I think it is a 12.
12 Pro Max. My wife has the 13. No, she has the 14.
I was going to say, she'll get mad at you. It's the 14.
It's the 14. I always update mine, so it has the same stabilization as hers, but it does not have the low light capability. So I always have to be mindful of how much light I have in a scene. Otherwise, I have to make a note of it and denoise that clip. So, but anyway.
What would you say to somebody who says, you're spending too much money on the video for a home? I do this type of video for my multi-million-dollar listings, but you're giving the same quality for a $300,000 trailer.
I think sometimes it is a little bit silly that we do that, but it's just part of our business model. We have people on our team that will get a listing, and they're so happy to get the listing, and I know that they leverage the marketing that we do to get the listing. So I don't have there's no room for me to cut corners, and I don't want to cut corners. It's part of our business model. So if we have a $350,000 double wide in Hemet, I'm going to do the best damn video I can possibly do because it deserves it. It does. I guess that sounds a little bit crazy, but it's part of it. And it really helps when somebody, not everybody hates their house and that's why they move. Sometimes they really love their house, but they have to move. And so giving them that, all of the photos and the video and everything after we've sold it, so they have some type, really high quality memory of the home they sold. I think that's pretty important too. I like doing that.
Thank you for allowing us to spotlight you. Normally we're spotlighting other individuals on the team and contractors that we work with, but this has been fun talking to you. What would you say that I missed or something that I didn't touch on?
I wasn't sure really where we were going to go with this podcast, so I'm not sure if you missed anything. If we were just talking about photos and video, then I think you handled all of it. But as the marketing director, there's so many more things. I think that's another reason why I like to be so on top of everything, because when I'm producing and I'm as the executive producer of all that stuff for our content, for the I'll just say the media that we put together for each property. There's so many different platforms it has to go on, the way it's timed, the way the ads are run, all of that stuff is what I do. It's not just, I wish I could just go out there during the photo shoot, make sure everything goes well, get all the videos and all that stuff together and then just hand it off to somebody and say, okay, now you know what to do. I'm not at that level yet, so I'm still, kind of holding on to that part of it. So I am the one that, is launching the Facebook ads and making sure that those leads are directed to the team member whose listing it is through their KV Core. Make sure that's firing off nice. Things like that. So between building the custom websites and buying custom URLs for all of the sites, using the right tools to tap into big data to make sure we're marketing the home to the right person, all the videos, 3D presentation, the social media stuff, even getting involved in the circle prospecting for the particular property. I'm involved in all of it. So that's why I like the team to introduce me as the marketing director. And I don't look at it as a role of, great posture. Like, woo, he's the marketing director. If you think about it, I would rather be introduced as the marketing director. So it makes me sound a little bit like I work for the team member. And I want them to have that sense of, I want them to feel elevated. Like, I am going to have my marketing coordinator is actually going to come with me to the listing appointment. How does that sound?
It always sounds good.
I'm not going to just wing it. I'm actually going to bring my marketing director with me. So, I think that's more important to let team members view you as that than so that they're elevated, and then I can just take that role of, well, here's everything that she's going to do on this listing or that he's going to do in this. And I'm the one that's doing it, but it's like it just lifts them up. So I know if our team gets bigger, if we have, if we start to do 30 listings a month, one a day type of thing, there's no way I'm going to have to do. But at least I'm doing it so much that I've written the book on it for our team. And it is scalable. I'm keeping it in my wheelhouse because I have the time to do it and I love doing it. But when it comes to scale, I have exactly what to do on every single listing, like a manual. So it'll be easy to scale when I'm ready, when I need to.
And then one final point, I didn't think about it earlier, or it just came back to me. I know when we were with a different brokerage, you were, for lack of a better word, you would go out and do seminars on video and how to do it. How did that come about? Who saw it, and what was your role at that brokerage?
Well, I was just a team leader at Coldwell Banker, but Jamie Duran and Brad. Do you remember Brad's last name?
I actually don't.
Super cool dude. He has a really awesome YouTube channel. OC Motivators is his YouTube channel. Is it Brad Pearson? It's Brad Pearson. I'm sorry, Brad, if you ever watched this and I forgot your name. But they have always been appreciative that I was doing such good video on low price point homes. And so they were kind of, in an effort to build me up and encourage me, they were saying, hey, we'd like you to teach what you're doing, right? Mostly I think they just wanted to elevate me, just to bless my socks off, to, put me in a place where I would do that. But it turned out to be quite an expansive type of thing, because I was teaching, showing people how I was doing the video, and I was actually showing them how to leverage what Coldwell Banker calls CBX, and it stands for Coldwell Banker X Factor. It was a tool that they have that allowed them to tap into big data. We have that exact same tool with KV Core, so we have EXPX, right? But I actually really gravitated towards using those tools to make sure that we were marketing our homes to the most relevant audience across all social media channels that we were, running ads in. So I was actually going around teaching agents how to use CBX and how to utilize video to really ramp that up. So I enjoyed doing it. I didn't get paid for it. It was just sort of like a way of giving back, sort of like these podcasts are a way of giving back. But I'm glad to be out of there. I've nothing bad to say about Coldwell Banker. I'm just really glad to be where we are now because it's a huge difference.
I was going to say, I like the difference here at EXP.
Yeah, it is. I love the support. It's very, very agent-centric. And so don't need to go off onto that tangent, but...
No, I've got somebody lined up for that tangent, though.
Yeah, good. Well, that's good. It's probably Blake, right?
How did you guess?
I knew it. Blake loves to talk about EXP. That's why.
And that would be why I chose him.
Yeah. Before we go, can I just show you something? I wanted to grab this coffee cup.
Uh-huh.
And just in case it's in any of the cameras, I wanted it to look cool, right?
Right.
I didn't realize I picked up the girl one. It says love on the other side. So this whole time I've been holding it here.
I had been wondering why you were hiding it, but now it makes complete sense.
It's a little girly. Anyway, thanks for having me here.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me
on your podcast, you mean? Yeah, I got that.
So funny.
Well, we thank everybody for coming to join us.
Hey, wait, before you go, would you do us a favor?
Ciao.
If you found any value in this content, would you please like and subscribe to it? Maybe even leave a comment? It really helps us out.